I have decided to hire personal protection and strap myself into my chair with military grade harnesses to brace for the amount of hate I'm probably going to receive for this. Nevertheless, I want to talk about how cool and deadly Arno Dorian is from a lore perspective. So this is kind of my personal opinion, and from what information I have observed over many years of playing. I know a lot of videos have been made titled like in the defense of blah 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 blah, and even a few of these I've seen on Unity, the game itself already. This is definitely more a look into why Arno deserves respect from a lore and canon perspective. Arno was failed by the script writing, the buggy game and the clanky mechanics. Arno just did not achieve what Ubisoft targeted for. He was actually supposed to be marketed as the deadliest assassin we have played as yet, but this game just caused too much of a shitstorm. I welcome anyone with opinions to challenge mine, but I do ask you be respectful in the comments. You know, I like debate, not arguments. If you have not yet played Unity, or any Assassin's Creed for that matter, and do not wish to know any spoilers for it, I recommend you probably shouldn't watch this video or most of my videos on my channel. You have been warned. First, let's gloss over why Arno is just not liked by the masses and why the elitists seem to puke every time they hear his name. The big old obvious one is the state of Unity when it was released. It was a complete disaster, and the execution of half the game was horrible as well. The controls were clunky and awkward within the world that was actually built for smooth traversal. It didn't make sense. Unity saw the biggest amount of bugs we've ever seen in an Assassin's Creed game, some of which are still staining the game to this day, almost like one of those really bad Vindaloo farts that sort of lingers even the morning after. Some glitches even being just outright fucking terrifying. This of course instantly brings a negative coat of shit paint just to smear it all over Arno's missing face. When a game has such a bad release like this one, it just never recovers. Also, most people, including myself, thought the whole Arno Elise main storyline was quite lackluster. Considering it's a game that actually features a strong brotherhood for once, and with a fancy stronghold, Arno just acts like a rogue trying to achieve the status of Master Simp, and we just didn't see enough of the big brotherhood that was actually there in France. Another reason might be that it followed on from Black Flag, if we don't count Assassin's Creed Rogue. Not even a masterpiece could have followed in Black Flag's path. I know a small group of players didn't like the lack of Assassin's Creed in the Assassin's Creed game Black Flag, which is ironic to saying it, but it's undeniable that it's one of the most loved in the series. Even if Unity had been a masterpiece, upon release, it went in a different direction to the previous game. This would have gained hate either way. This again adds more negative shit paint across Arno's face. Poor Arno. He just wanted to simp and have his waffle, but now he's almost forgotten in the eyes of Assassin's Creed fans. So, on to why Arno actually deserves more respect. He is the deadliest assassin we've played as to date. Whoa, Atomcat, that's a serious statement you just made. Well yeah, but it's true that Ubisoft wanted to market Arno Dorian as the deadliest master assassin to date, and surely since they themselves create the lore of the game, surely what they say is actual fact. Also, I'm sure someone will bring up Altair in the comments. Yes, he was pretty sweet, he's the OG, however he's not the deadliest. He is arguably the most accomplished and wisest. Also, Arno's master robes are the best looking in the franchise. So like racing stripes on a sports car, it makes them go vroom vroom. Wee wee. Let's actually take a look at Arno's gear and more importantly his abilities and skills. I'll be judging Arno in his Master Assassin period, when he was in his prime along with everyone I compare him to. Arno only wears robes, with just one wrist and his legs beneath the knees slightly protected. This does put him at a slight disadvantage if he was to get hit compared to some other assassins. However, the aim is not to get hit. We could argue it's similar to how, throughout the events of Assassin's Creed 1, Altair technically did not take a single hit in lore, as when you took a hit in game, it was actually a quote animus glitch unquote. I'm not trying to say Arno would never take a hit or get cut, that's unrealistic, but he felt confident enough in his other abilities that this would be a rare circumstance. Onto his weapons and equipment. Firstly, we know Arno wouldn't waltz around Paris with a precursor artifact blinding everyone's eyes. He leaves the Sword of Eden in the vault after the battle with the Templar Grand Master. Now, something that popped into my brain while thinking about this was it could be very likely that after he rejoined the Assassins, he could have gone to retrieve it, or he could have told the Assassins where it was and they could have gone to get it. But for lore's sake here, we're going to talk about what he actually used, which is a custom saber. We actually see this in Assassin's Creed Rogue as a usable weapon. I know it's weird, they put Arno's sword in Rogue, but they didn't let us have his canon sword in Unity. But, you know, it's the hand we've been dealt. Honestly, I wish it was somehow canon that he preferred to use the decorated katana from Unity, but obviously that makes no sense at all. Regardless, we're supposed to believe that Arno is the most skilled swordsman we have seen so far, and a master at fencing. He can utilise amazing acrobatics and agility while engaged in a duel. He's also one of the most unpredictable fighters there is. He hasn't got a traceable pattern on the battlefield. He has a 6-shot pistol, which is decorated in a way which shows his status as a master assassin. It's still black powder and ball, but it's effective at close range. I see a lot of people argue that Edward Kenway is OP because he's got 6 pistols. However, these are single shot. So rather than having to pull guns out one by one, Arno can just shoot 6 shots in succession from a single weapon. This is a lot more effective and makes Edward kind of obsolete. He has the iconic hidden blade, which is actually placed under the forearm. It's weird to think that we now have to specify where it is and if you actually have it nowadays. Think about that. I actually think Ezio was the assassin that mastered casual use of the hidden blades most effectively. Contrary to the promotional adverts before it released, Arno will not use his hidden blade in open combat. This makes sense, to be honest. As much as using your hidden blades as a primary weapon in open combat, it looks really good and fun. Realistically, it's not that effective. You have to sacrifice a big distance between you and your enemy, which your enemy will still try and maintain with their main weapon. Also, the hidden blade is quite small, and as we see in Revelations, a sharp-edged sword can break through him quite easily. Instead, Arno prefers to keep distance between him and his enemies and use his custom saber. That's not to say though that he does not know how to use it. He can do the standard single enemy stealth kill that every assassin can do. He can also execute aerial assassinations from the get-go. Over the course of the game, we see Arno learning skills like double assassinations with just a single blade, and even double aerial assassinations with a single blade. He's still skilled with it, but does not rely on it so heavily as other assassins have done in the past. The weapon unique to Unity is the Phantom Blade. It allows the hidden blade user to fire the blade at an enemy pretty much. So these have the same effect as throwing knives, but from a lore perspective these need a lot less action to use. These blades can also be filled with chemicals to manipulate enemies. This is all stuff we have seen before, but just condensed into one little small unit that's actually very easy and effective to use. The only downside is that the blades are very expensive. You might think I'm being silly for thinking about this, but imagine how much it would cost to have these very unique phantom blades reproduced frequently, as opposed to buying generic throwing knives from a vendor. He also has the usual smoke bomb, cherry bomb, money pouch, and even has a poison bomb. He does have some interesting abilities, like being able to utilise disguise to get past hostile guards, and using stun grenades to quickly dart through large groups in close proximity. Next, his stealth is second to none. His stealth is undoubtedly miles above any other assassin. He has eagle vision, but it seems to be on steroids compared to any other assassin. This makes his awareness of his surroundings so much better than others. What goes hand in hand with his stealth is his ability of parkour, which he is also the most skilled at. Arno can take massive leaps across, up, down structures without the need of a grapple gun or a hook blade. One thing I will consider is that the houses in France are so compact and close together that it would make it easier to traverse across rooftops. And also, back to the stealth aspect, France is so packed with civilians that the social stealth is a breeze. But as you can see, Arno's skill set is extensive, and a few exceed fellow Master Assassin. One thing I felt like wasn't brought to light enough or marketed enough was Arno's nickname. Arno the Fearless. He's a very bold assassin and is actually quite cocky. He does taunt his enemies in cutscenes throughout the game, but for some reason we cannot taunt within the game, although this has been a feature in past games as well. It's such a shame that the writing and the game itself didn't do Arno justice. He's literally one of the most deadliest assassins ever, and I truly feel like he got cheated of that status. If the Montreal team handled this game, would it be different? Would Arno be more revered if the gameplay was smooth, unbuggy, and more captivating? Of course. A protagonist's reputation amongst fans is tied to the feelings we get while playing, regardless of who they are supposed to be. If Revelations wasn't about Ezio, would it have been successful? Absolutely fucking not. It was a clone of Brotherhood with a couple of extra features, some of which just did not make sense. But because we already had such positive experiences with Ezio, we still appreciated it. Since most people had a negative time with Unity, of course those negative connotations will cling to Arno as well, like a massive dangleberry that just won't fuck off. I will fully admit I discarded Unity at the time like everyone else, but after reading and researching more into Arno, I realised he is more like Uhtred, son of Uhtred. He's a fearless warrior, the best of what he does that history will not remember. You can hear me right now, that means you've made it through an entire video of me arse-licking Arno Dorian's ass. Congratulations, you deserve it. If you like Assassin's Creed and would like to see more Assassin's Creed content, consider giving me a sub and turning the notification bell on. Obviously, the like and dislike bar is there. I'm sure I'm bracing myself for some serious dislikes. Just, do your thing. Been Holy Atom, and I'll see you next time.